Good afternoon and welcome to what will be the start of wireless remote control for Uncle Dorkel. Hopefully the weather holds up. Don't get a rain when we're doing the project. I just brought them out and I've got some of my tools out here. Well, around here you got to look at the sky. If it's clear, you can start doing some work. So it looks pretty good, no gray clouds. So I have Uncle Dorkel's backside exposed over here. Probably disconnect all this stuff here. What I have to do here is I got a lot of tracing out to do here, and because nothing's really marked other than on the backdrop here, on the, I should say on the front back inside here where I did mark some things. So it's one of these things where I just put stuff together and I don't really draw a schematic. My schematics are in my head, and then 2 months, 6 months later I forget what I did. So I want to keep you on the tripod as much as I can here. So I'm going to stop the video. I got to get this camera out of my way or I'll trip on the tripod and knock it half across the yard. And I want to do some tracing out. Alright, I had to remove this 24-pin connector here. There's a lot of spare wires, as I had mentioned before. I believe these are the two relay coils, left and right, with the center pin of the switch throwing positive voltage on one or the other. So we can trace it out better here. It's not really all that much. You just got the motor, you got the mouth trigger, I mean the head motor, the mouth trigger, and the eyes. So I stripped back these two white wires which went up to this plug up here, which I removed. One is going to be the relay coil for turning the head left, and the other one is the relay coil for turning the head right. Okay, so going inside here, very awkward to work. I can do so much faster if I wasn't videoing this. Pin 2 of the relay down inside, and you may not be able to see that, but I'm doing the best I can. Alright, the bottom relay, it shows over limit. I don't see that good. Alright, and the top one shows 0.3 ohms. Okay. And we just reverse the wire, the clip lead on the other lead. Damn clips keep sliding in there. I hate these Chinese clip leads. A rubber boot keeps sliding and the clip slips. Alright, let's see. Alright, we're over limit on that one. We should be getting a reading on the bottom one. And we do. We get 0.3 ohms. Alright. Now, what I got to do, I think this is 20 gauge. I got to remove these fine wires, which were just there for test. Okay. There's one. And I didn't bring my real fine, I can see it okay. Alright, A and B are just like switches. I didn't have any luck trying to connect power to C. It didn't seem to work out. for me and try it again, but according to that schematic that comes with this thing. Alright, so now we remove this wire, and I don't want to lose it because I don't have a lot of thin wire for hookup. So we don't want to lose that. Use it in another project. Okay, so now get this out of the way. Notice I got to work on a little, get Dorkel turned around a little bit. Let's see if I can get this in there. It's like threading a needle. This might be too big for that hole. Now this, as I said, is operating the relay coil, so there's not a lot of current involved. Doesn't seem to want to go in there. Oh, there it is. Okay, I got it. I'd use my head magnifier, but I bang into everything with it, and that's why you don't see me use it. It's just clumsy, because I still have to get my face right on top of things, and yes, I got the cell phone, but now this is just, again, temporary. I'm just running the wire here. This is longer than necessary. Alright, so let's take out the other two here, which is also A and B. C is supposed to be the power. It's supposed to be. Am I turning the right one, or am I turning? I can't see anything here. Man, this stuff is small to work with. Alright, I'm on the right one. I must have been turning the other empty slot screw there. Alright, we'll put these wires over here. Alright, so now what we've got is whatever channel that is. It's the fourth one over, so it's either channel 1 or channel 4. It don't matter. Whatever one we elect. Okay, so now we're on B of that. Now we got to go to B of the other one, so we got to bring this wire. Let's bring it down here because it's only temporary. This is why I'm doing both WVGA. To, you know, as I said so many times before, when there's a project, I'm going to use WVGA. It's not a big deal, at least to most people. Some don't like it, but I'm sorry. You know, I use HD when I can. That's the wrong wire here. This is the wire. Oh, go. This is the wire you want to use. Well, we get it into B. I don't even know if it went in all the way. It doesn't feel like it went in all the way. Screwdriver's slipping here. Actually, these look like Phillips screws, so I could probably use a small Phillips. All right, it's in there. Okay, so I can't show you a close-up, but there's 4 relays circuits and 3 screws for each. A and B, from what I've traced out, is a switch, basically on and off switch. The way I got these is, as long as you hold the remote control button down, it will stay energized. You release the button, it'll de-energize, and that's what I want. So, okay, now what I got to do is I got to supply 12 volts to here, which I'm just going to clip onto the battery. When I put the battery in, I'll just clip onto that. But before I can do that, I got to take a little power lead, and I don't have red, so we're going to have to use yellow. I do have red somewhere. I could use this, I guess. All right, and we got to take a little jumper from here, which is going to be fun trying to get another wire under that red terminal. I think what they do is they go from this positive over to this end screw here, which is C. So we're temporarily hooking this up. Let's open C up. And see if I tighten C down. If I can't power that relay that way, then I'll simply run a power lead from the red B plus side to the center, where the center of that three-way switch, the head turns left and right, you know, and this is positive. This is energizes one coil, this energizes the other, and that's all. We'll just do it the easy way if this thing don't want to cooperate. So right now what I want to do, we're going to do everything with clip leads here, so we're going to bring this over to here. Now by doing that, you may not even be able to see that. Okay, what I did temporarily, here's the positive, and I'm sorry I can't get you close because I'm using the ZE1. This is the positive here, okay? This is temporary wires, still doing it on the temporary hookup basis. We got to do things slowly and carefully. So instead of trying to bring this wire under the screw here, which is going to be a hassle for me, I can do it, but I'm going to be struggling with it. We'll temporarily clip this like this. Now this is going to give supposedly positive 12 volts to the relay contacts on only this relay, because I would need another one over here for that, another one over here for that, so on and so forth, all on C. There's A, B, and C. That's according to that schematic that came with it. So what we're going to do now, we're going to get the battery. I'm going to put the battery in Uncle Dorkel, and we make very sure we're puzzling. I got a lot of work on this. This project is not going to get done in one day. I can tell you right now, it's going to be a very long thing. It's hard for me to work because, you know, the eyesight. So the average guy could probably do it in maybe 1/10 the time that it would take me to do it. So what we're doing now is we're taking the positive here, okay, from the battery. All right, are we in camera? Yeah, I can see my hand here. Okay, and we're putting it on the positive. Okay, we just got a head turn here, which means that the head is going to keep on turning. I'm going to have to take you off the tripod. I'll try to be steady. It's very difficult to get you in camera here. All right, putting on the positive here and feeding this relay with 12 volts. As soon as I apply power to this, and I didn't even connect the negative up yet, and the head's turned almost to the extreme. I don't dare fire that up again until I can get it to turn the other way. So I don't know why that became energized and the negative is disconnected. This circuit isn't supposed to work, and it is not lit because there is no 12 volts. I only have the positive 12 volts. So let me get another clip lead and see what happens. That's strange. I think what I'm going to do is to stop this nonsense of going to C, even though the schematic showed that. And I'm sorry, I can't get you in in camera here. The schematic shows that C is supposed to be a positive. It can't be. I'm just going to use this as a switch, and this will be switched to 12 volts, which means there'll be two wires coming out like there was before when I demonstrated it. So one of the leads will be connected to B plus, or, you know, in other words, positive here. In other words, we won't use C. And the other one will be connected to the relay, and then at that time this will work properly, because this is not working right. According to that diagram, that thing is very, very misleading. And that's the difficulty I had with it. We're going to hook this up the way I understand it, not the way these Chinese give you these things. They are very confusing with their directions. So I ohmed this all out, and everything works fine on it. But we're not using C, we're using A and B on each one of these, and either A or B will have 12 volts on it, and either B or A will receive the 12 volts when the contact closes. That's the way we're going to do it. So let me get a negative lead on this thing. All right, I got the remote. Nothing's hooked up yet. There's just one wire hooked up. Actually, there's two wires hooked up. All right. You can see the light going out over here. All right. So it's not working because we need to feed 12 volts, but I can't do it from here. I cannot do it from here. I don't trust that schematic that came with this thing. So we're going to do it the old goat way, the simple way. On each relay, you have A, B, and C. Do not use C. That's connected to C right here. Do not use C. Use A and B on every one of these, with A being to 12 volts, and B being the receiver of the 12 volts when the contact closes. That's as simple as that. Nothing complicated about that. So we're going to remove this yellow wire here, and we're going to bring it into B or C. I can't remember. Okay, we're already in B. Okay, we've got the relay coils in B, so A is going to be our 12 volts. So we're feeding the 12 volts into A on each of these. You won't be able to get a close-up, but the best I can do, guys and gals. Guys and gals. Alright, let's take the 12 volts, which we normally had on this yellow wire. Let's take that out, because that's obviously no-go. You don't do it that way. And we put it into A. We'll do A on this one. There's A over here. Oh man, I can't see that. Like I say, it's like threading a needle, and this wire is too heavy. I think that's the problem. Okay, I got it in. You need a microscope to work on this stuff. This is why I don't work on transistor stuff. It's way too crowded. To each his own. Okay, now, if we supply 12 volts, and we'll just touch it because I don't want the head to turn. Okay. All right, let's apply 12 volts. That's our 12 volt feed. Okay. All right. So what we've got here, we have 12 volts applied to terminal A on the relay, terminal B goes to one of the relay coils for the head motor, and C has no connection. So let's try this. Okay, that works. Alright. It won't go the other way because we have to supply 12 volts on the other one. So, what we'll do is we'll daisy chain all the A's together for 12 volts. We'll do that off camera. And that way we got our supply. And I don't like the looks of the sky here. It's a weird story of my life. The damn weather's never cooperative. Alright, let me get a... Okay, we're going to have to use black because that's what I got. It's all test anyways. Alright, we're going to take... I don't like using the wrong color code because it's too easy to screw up, but again, this is just a trial. Because I want to, before I end this part of the video, I want to check the range of this. So I need to get this head to turn over. It's already extreme right now, and I'm going to cause a problem if it goes any further. So what we're going to do is we're going to loosen. We're going to loosen A. Make sure we loosen that screw all the way out so that thing opens up good. That's probably what my problem is. Alright, we're going to supply... Oh man. Oh. Man, what an eye strain this is. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm in there all the way. It doesn't feel like it's going in very far. And I guess it's in because it didn't pull out. Okay, now we're going to touch this quick on 12 volts. Make sure there's no shorts. Okay. Now we're going to disconnect that, temporarily twist these together, put the 12 volts back on. Okay, now, yep, perfect. Okay, let me show you what I did. A has 12 volts on it. Disregard the black lead, that's positive. It just happens to be all the red wire I have without digging in my box and spending an hour. Both of these A's are being supplied with 12 volts. Okay, when the relay kicks in, B will take the 12 volts, and that will energize the relay and turn the head one way or the other. The same way with this one. Now we're going to check the range of this. As you can see right now, okay, so let's check the range, and then we're going to end this video because I'm not going to do any more. I don't like the looks of that sky up there. Alright, I'm at the end of the bench. The bench is 5 feet long here, 2.5 feet here. So almost 8 feet, and I'm standing back a few. So let's see if it works. Yep. Okay. Alright, now let's go over to the grill. I've been wanting to change the range. You know, this is plenty. If it works this way, our rooms aren't that big, so this is more than enough. Without a tape measure, I don't know how many feet this is, but I would say it's probably about 15 or 18 feet. So let's go. You can see his head turning, at least far as I think I'm in camera. Okay. Now, we'll go out by the propane tank. Now, I don't know how many feet that is. I could measure it. But I'm never going to be doing a skit that distance. Never. But you never know, maybe something out in the yard. Let's see. I don't expect it to work at this range. But let's see. There we go. It's still working. It's still working. All right, I'm going to stick the remote control in my pocket. It's not infrared, so it should work. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. All right, let's go. This is extreme. I don't expect this range. Just make sure his head can be seen here. I don't expect it to work at this range. It did. I just saw his head turn. It sure did. Okay, so I would say that's about 75 feet. Because when I was using a hose out here to get water out of the brook, or to make the test for that, it's 75 feet from that table to the brook. Alright, I am going to put everything away. This is going to be part one of probably a very long series. So that's it. I got a lot of work. I'm not even going to attempt to put that in. I just have to make sure my connections are correct. So I'm taking my time on this. So I'm going to put Dorkel back in the shed, and we won't be needing the remote. This battery here will go back into the body of Uncle Dorkel. Alright, we'll disconnect this. Alright, this circuit board goes into a little box which is in the workshop. Little cover that goes on it. I'm going to mount it right here. Now this is all masking tape and cardboard. That's the way I built them. There's no real wood other than the wood that you see here for the relay, and there's a board here where this terminal block goes on. So these wires here, we know, I kind of figured that these wires were for the left and right relay. The mouth solenoid, which is here, okay, that is directly, as I said before, connected, or was connected, directly to the remote control, the long heavy wire, and operated by a heavy-duty push button. When I do the mouth trigger, I'm going to dig in my box, and I should have a 12-volt relay. I know I have 24-volt that I got, but 24 volts aren't going to do any good. They're too high of a voltage rating. And that relay will operate this. So you're going to have two relays. You're going to have the relay in here operating the mouth solenoid, but you're also going to have a relay in here, the same as we have here for the head. It has to be that way. That head motor draws the head motor's 8 amps, I believe. This is an old marking here that was underneath the tape, but as I recall, I think that's like a 6 or an 8 amp fuse in there too. So this may be good for 10 amps, I believe, these coils, these relays. But you got to remember, they're sparking like this. Okay? So I would rather have these relays drive another relay just like they're doing with the head. I want to have the mouth solenoid operated the same way. The eyes are only powered by a very low current, low voltage motor, 6 volts I believe it is. And one of my viewers asked if I could run it on 5. I haven't tried that. I've been so busy with this. Alright, we're ending this video now, and I got to make a power switch, add a power switch to this. I got a lot of work. I need a reliable day without getting rained out here. got a lot of stuff to put away here. So that concludes part number 1. A lot of this wiring I'm going to do off camera. I got to save time. I cannot have a video that's an hour long every time I do something. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for part 2, which will not be right away. Repeat, will not be right away. Take care, everybody.